Karina Boatger truly is the gift that keeps giving. Apparently, she was aggressively autistic again, and we're going to find out exactly what she said, exactly what she did, and let's get caught up on this VA that's making every other VA's life a living f***ing hell. Oh, by the way, thank you all for subscribing. Over the past month, we've gained 3,000 subscribers, and we're gaining around 400 new subs every day. So if you're new here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to keep up to date on all the bullshit going on in Gotcha Space and whatever dumbass shit I decide to cover. And just know, I appreciate you. Unlike Karina Boatger, who hates all of you and thinks you're dumb. Chat, I would never do that because I think you're all super geniuses. I love you, random citizen. Make sure to subscribe. Let's get it.
Thank you for joining me. Today we've got a very interesting update on Paimon VA. Karina
Oh, here we
Boatger.
go.
While Karina's
Is the update that the VA of Paimon isn't actually Paimon? Because if it is, I might kill myself. I wouldn't be able to handle that shock.
activity on social media seems to have been decreasing ever since the whole Jacob Takanashi thing, where a number of English voice actors got exposed for being manipulative, toxic, etc., etc.
Hey, that's just like me. Hey, I should be a voice actor, man. Damn.
It seems like instead Karina's been very active over on Blue Sky, where Karina and other voice actors in that clique seem to be very upset at those who criticize their actions. Of course, I'm talking about actions such as the harassment of Jacob Takanashi, how a number of these sort of voice actors were lying about their strike, and how it turned out to not even be an official strike, and instead what they're now calling a collective work refusal. So yeah, you know, things like that. Stuff that we...
Yeah, that's a little bit different. Yeah, there's a big difference between voice actors going on strike because what a company's doing is wrong versus a whole bunch of greedy motherfuckers just wanting more money. Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference.
Been talking about for the last few weeks, on and off. Before we go to Blue Sky and take a look at some of that recent stuff, let's hop over to Karina's TikTok and check out Karina's last TikTok post. Well,
guys, if it's bad, I just want to say it's AI, as well as this channel. If I ever say any crazy shit, it's all AI. It's not me. I'm being pranked by the Chinese Hoyo assassins. They're going after my career, so yeah, it's not me.
Well, not really the post itself, but the comments on it. We can now see comments such as, please ignore all the positive comments.
True.
Spoiler alert, there are basically no positive comments anymore anyways.
Yep.
Can't wait for Paimon's VA recast.
Please, God, that would be so funny.
Al Koga is better VA than you. Can't
that
wait
would
for
be
that
so funny.
Non-problematic VA. Kenichi is better than Paimon, by the way.
I will say, in defense of Karina, this person commenting this on your video is gay as fuck. Anybody who says, oh man, I just want them to be, anybody who uses the word problematic is instantly gay as fuck. Straight up. Like, this is how you know their estrogen levels are through the roof. Just like me, because I'm gay.
I hope Paimon has a new VA. I've never hoped that someone would be fired and never hired again so much in my life. Get out.
True.
Did you find a new job?
True.
So this whole time, there's no strike. The VAs, especially you, have been throwing a fit, bullied someone who's actually doing his job, mind you, needs the money because he has a family. The rest gets cut off here. I don't know.
Yeah, but like, you just don't get it. And if you were to look into this for 5 seconds on Google, you would understand that I'm right. But you won't. Because you're stupid and I'm the only one who knows what's going on. You want to know a real fact? Every single time I've gotten to shit for anything, it takes me one video to clear up all of the misconceptions. Paimon fucked up once and then released 30 videos after, making it worse. And you want to know why that is? Because she's lying to y'all's fucking face. It's great. And just like Karina says, but maybe I'm wrong because I'm just a YouTuber that gets paid to lie. Okay. Yeah, anyways.
I can't see the rest of it. Continuing a little bit more, though. And yeah, these are all the most liked comments on that TikTok.
Great.
Can't wait for your replacement.
Yep.
Waiting for your replacement.
Yep.
How are we more mature than a 35-year-old woman?
Are they a woman? I remember I called him a woman once and then I got into shit for it. I don't, listen guys, it's 2025 and the whole trans thing. I still don't know what I can say and what I can't say. So are they a girl or not? Because I called him a chick and I got into trouble for it. Like, what? What pronouns am I allowed to use, guys? I don't fucking know anymore, man. I mean, this shit's crazy. I'll just fucking call him a goblin, to be honest.
Don't listen to the positive comments. But yeah, I can't even see any positive comments anyways. We gotta recast Paimon. No one wants someone who bullies another VA for something they didn't know. Now then, let's sit back and see the comments roll in. At this point, just...
You know what's crazy, guys? You know on TikTok, they're starting to like me again. Because after 4 to 5 years, all the little kids grew up and they realized, wait a minute, everything Tectone said he's been right about. So it's been good, man. The PR upswing's been great.
Pretend nothing happened until the end of the line. You ruined the strike for all your fellow VAs.
Yep.
It goes beyond can each VA now. This is the point of no return
True.
anyways. So it's actually pretty hilarious, the stuff that people are coming up with and commenting on there. And that's just a very small sample size. There are literally hundreds of comments just like those. I mean, to be even more specific, there's like 700 plus comments that all seem to be critical. And that's just on Karina's latest video. It seems like that same thing's been happening
let's watch
on
the video,
videos that Karina has made since the whole Jacob Takanashi thing.
By the way, bro, seeing Emma Frost in Marvel Rivals triggers a full body reaction to me, bro. She's so fucking bad.
Okay, you know what? Here's one more comment I want to show you guys. This is from a different video. So this person says to Karina, "We all love you so much." We all say as our wooden noses grow. I thought that one was pretty clever. But okay, now we'll hop over to Blue Sky and take a look at this little rant from Karina. Responding to this person, Crystal, and saying, so you're going to ignore that you said these alt-right anti-union talking points?
Here we go.
You can see a deleted post. So presumably Crystal...
I'm going to say buzzwords that the media latches onto and the ignorant youth have no understanding of, just like Hassan and Denims. This is a playbook straight out of the lefties' fucking arsenal, man. Just say the word Nazi, transphobe, grifter, and alt-right, and automatically, oh man, I don't want to align myself with these guys, man. Holy fuck.
Ended up deleting the post or something. We got these screenshots. Let's see what this says. Oh my gosh, that's huge. We can't actually see it. Okay, let me fix that somehow. It says, alt-right nonsense? I'm not the right. I only bought politics since a global game is at stake for being unionized.
Yep.
Presumably they mean I'm not on the right and I've only brought up politics.
You know what's going to blow people's mind? Right? I get called I'm a far-right extremist all the time. That's what's crazy. I get told that I'm a Donald Trump supporter. So here's the reality, guys. I didn't even vote. Yep. My firm belief is that both candidates were fucking retarded. On the political spectrum, here's what's going to blow your mind. You know, I'm actually more left-leaning than I am right-leaning. But the problem is that the left is so far left now that me being slightly left-leaning makes me look like I'm far right. That's what's insane. That's how insanely retarded the consumers en masse and the streamers who are outspoken are, where it makes any normal, sane person look like they're an extremist. It is insane.
Since the global game is at stake for being unionized, which would make other countries be upset. I seriously can't believe you think that anyone disagreeing is alt-right. Disgusting behavior by you.
Like I'm much more centralist than
still shouldn't be union.
Anything
because
else.
Being union affects other countries' laws and stuff as well. So like I said, Karina and other VAs are upset on their Blue Sky accounts with people who are criticizing their union rhetoric. That takes us back to this thread where we can once again see Karina responding to that, saying, so you're going to ignore that you said these alt-right anti-union talking points? To which she gets into it with this other guy, Eric. Eric saying, those opinions are not alt-right. You're using a label incorrectly to deflect and discredit a different opinion.
Who does that sound like, guys? Who's another guy, whenever they receive valid criticism, they just start spouting blasphemous shit at any streamer in order to discredit them whatsoever? Yep. It is f***ing nuts. And that's what they do, man. That's what they do.
Why not ask why they believe what they do? If they are wrong, then provide information, not opinions. And they might
also, who the fuck is using Blue Sky?
Change their view. Help us learn and be open to learning from others. But Karina says this. Dane saying that an American union, someone has control over another. Wait, hold on, what? Saying that an American union, someone has control over another country's laws is in fact an anti-union alt-right talking point. Not an opinion, because it is literally not possible. If unions had control over other countries, then fiancé's union for McDonald's Quolls have made every McDonald's worker in the US make way more money and have...
Is she having a fucking stroke? Because good Lord, brother, she thought about this before pressing the submit button. Jesus Christ.
Healthcare. Wait, that was such weird phrasing. What the frick?
Oh, yeah.
If unions had control over other countries' fiancé's union For McDonald's quolls have made every... It seems like it could be a copy pasta, bro.
Yep.
Like one of those nonsensical copy pastas.
Dang that in American Union someone has control over another country's laws is in fact an anti-union alt-right talking point. Not an opinion, because it is literally not possible. If unions had control over other countries, then fiancé's a union for McDonald's qualls have made every McDonald's worker. Bro, you want to know why stupid people are so dangerous, guys? Because they don't know that they're stupid. That's the hardest part. And you can't explain that to them. They don't get it. So what I'm saying is, I'm
going to try one last time.
Go ahead.
If unions had control... So yeah, then Eric responds and says to Karina, your words, including the screenshot we'll take a look at. Unions, quote unquote, influence each other. If Hoyo signs the SAG contract, SAG could influence unions in other countries. Hoyo could have multiple unions in other countries banging down their door with more contracts. Not all of them will be fair and reasonable. Influence can be harmful.
True.
And the screenshot included of Karina saying this just the other day. And SAG doesn't have control over other unions in other countries. Unions influence each other, but it's the same thing like the British Actors Union also influences us. That just happens because actors work together. And then Karina goes off saying, China doesn't have unions. We can't influence anything there. Also, it's as much influence as an influencer telling you to go buy a certain...
Bro, thank God Karina has a funny voice, because she doesn't voice act. That's just her fucking voice. You know what I'm saying? Thank God she has a funny voice. She was born weird, because if she didn't, she would be unemployed and on the fucking streets right now. Because what else can this chick even do? I mean, dear God. Like, if this is how you type on the internet, I mean, holy shit, you have to be a fucking moron.
Certain product. They can't bargain on the behalf of workers in another country. Not
Dear
how that
God,
works.
it's like it's
when the
shocking.
British Union for VAs gets a certain perk that might influence us American VAs to ask for that same perk. But that's like how the frickin' internet works. That is not SAG going on behalf of the workers, which they can't do in other countries. You think it's bad that workers would fight for better working conditions if they see people in certain countries having better working conditions? Because right now, us in the US, we are actually asking for the same protections our Chinese actors are getting. They influenced us. See how that works? Eric responds, saying, no, I don't think it's bad to fight for better working conditions. I think your heart
Oh, here comes a banger.
But your interactions with people...
Here it comes. Eric's about to get in there.
Really making things worse.
Here we go.
Responds, saying, again, if people are bringing up alt-right anti-union nonsense, like this person originally brought up, that SAG can control other countries' laws, which they can't, that is not a person that is arguing in good faith. And pointing out that this person did that is how conversations work.
Here we go.
Eric says, stop labeling someone else's opinion as alt-right just because you don't agree with it or understand it. I keep trying to extend the...
You want to know how someone's an alt-right, grifter, transphobe, homophobe, abuser, pedophile, Nazi, guys? Because they disagreed with you on the internet. Yep. Y'all remember when I got called a racist, homophobe, transphobe, Nazi because I didn't like Genshin Impact and they did? I remember. Yep. And you know it's the truth. Well, I disagree with this guy, so that means he's a horrific criminal. Because that's the only way I can mentally justify it. Yep. Hope this helps.
That you're refusing to give to others. Nobody is bringing your political views into question or dismissing your opinion because they disagree. Karina says, stop trying to label an alt-right talking point as exactly what it is. You're actually not being courteous. Dismissing the truth is actually not courteous at all. I just didn't know, like, Karina was one of these people who constantly goes off about, like, oh, that's alt-right, this is alt-right, blah, 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 blah. So I find that interesting. Here's something else interesting.
Here we go.
Because we can see Karina also responding to Noah Gibson saying exactly this. Noah Gibson responding to a deleted post, presumably the one that Karina was responding to before and going off on before that other individual, Eric, was trying to defend the person that Karina was going off on, who deleted the post. And Noah Gibson, if you watch my prior segments on the Genshin VA stuff, you might remember this person because they gave us one of the most hilarious quotes in the entire Genshin VA situation, which is saying a lot. So back in my video titled Genshin VA for Paimon has complete lost it, we had Karina making that excuse of like, oh, it was just AI. That video of me wasn't actually me, right? Like you can see here.
11,000 updates,
so
man. Imagine
AI,
that.
And you've never said this. I agree that YouTubers don't know anything, though. Linking to that video of Karina's crash out.
Here we go.
Karina said, yes, that is AI. And yes, the YouTubers do know it. They just don't care. But then, going back to where we just left off right here, someone responded, Korn specifically, saying, is this not your TikTok account? And linking to that very crash out video on Karina's TikTok account, to which Noah Gibson then said, at Karina, this is bad. You gotta say something fast. You gotta say something fast, Karina. This is bad. They have evidence. You know, stuff that we're allergic to. Evidence. Oh, no. Let me also mention this really quick because I forget if I mentioned this before, so I'm just going to stuff it here to be safe. Noah Gibson does claim to also be a voice artist. Like a voice actor, I guess. But yeah, voice artist. And so now going back to the current stuff, we've got Noah Gibson, that person, once again.
The supreme dick rider. Oh, yeah. The maximum glorper, the slorp glorper himself, man. Man, this is going to be awesome. I wonder what valuable input this guy has.
He just seems to like this person a lot. Let's see. Noah Gibson says, you don't have to be alt-right to fall for anti-union propaganda. Unions are net positive things. I'm in a union at my workplace, so I know firsthand how much they can improve your work environment and wages. You are heavily uninformed by whoever keeps feeding you false information. Karina says exactly this. There is literally verifiable evidence of how SAG-AFTRA has hurt its own members in various ways, something these people seem like they will never admit to. For example,
Well, yeah, because they're already in the union, right? And they've already overcome the sunk costs. And so now, if it gets any bad reputation, well, that's going to hurt them. So now they all have to pretend that it's the best thing ever, right? Because otherwise, the problem that they created for themselves isn't going to go away.
Previously discussed in a different video, how SAG-AFTRA changed their own healthcare policies in ways that negatively impacted thousands of their own members, disproportionately also impacting senior members.
That's a great point. Ask people in the vegan restaurant if vegan food is good. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to say, man. Ask everybody in the KKK what they think of black people. You know what's crazy, guys? Just because there's a group of people saying one thing doesn't mean that they're right. That's what's insane, because people on the outside can peer looking in and form their own opinions.
And these were people who paid into that healthcare plan for decades that SAG then threw under the bus. And those seniors even brought forth litigation against the union.
What's the KKK? Oh, it's people who watch Don to Don.
To which SAG then desperately settled out of court. But now going back to the start of this conversation, what kicked this all off, do you remember how Karina was responding to this person, presumably Crystal? I showed these two images that were included, where we can then presume Crystal had also said something in this deleted post here. Well, we have an update on Crystal, because it looks like these VAs, like Karina and Noah Gibson, have apparently bullied this person into submission. We can see right here, Crystal ends up saying this. I messed up. I'm sorry. I didn't fully understand the strike. I wasn't well informed, even with what I learned of the strike. I thought that someone was being a bully by calling someone a scab. Little did I know, it was just a term when someone crossed the picket line.
Yeah.
I thought that scab meant a scab on society. So that's
look at that. If we Google things make more sense. Isn't that cool, man? Look at that.
Why I was saying
look at that.
A bully and that I don't support them. If I knew that there were two meanings of scab instead of one, then I wouldn't have.
Little did he know, Larry.
Viewed it as bullying. When I kept seeing the word scab being used by that VA, I thought they were purposely bullying them. I know that my words for saying that VA was a bully may have hurt all VA. I am with all VA because I thought, well, since this person said scab, that they mean a scab on society, block. I know that this apology won't be forgiven for who I have called a bully, and that I misunderstood.
Bro, this person is so fucking dumb, it's insane. This is insane how fucking dumb these people are. Dude, if this was on Twitter, they would get eaten alive. I'm glad there's only 9 people who are also fucking idiots with them.
Understanding of the word scab. I now know the 2 definitions of them and what they mean. Thank you for reading this if you have come this far. At Karina, I'm sorry. And Karina responds saying, hey, no worries. Misunderstandings happen. This is why I wanted to believe
here we go.
I kept talking to you yesterday. I'm glad that we can come to this understanding now. And you still don't have to like me. I know I am prickly as a person, especially over text. But you're clearly a good person. And you doing this shows how good of a person you are.
Here we go.
This is such gaslighting.
Oh, yeah.
Because the word scab is an insult.
Yep.
It's not just a term for when someone crossed the picket line. They literally, in union history, this term was literally chosen to be a nasty sounding word. It's intent.
It's also when you say that someone's crossing the picket line unjustly when they're not, and they're doing the exact same thing as every other member, but the other members don't want them to do the same behavior that they're doing, then it's entirely hypocritical. So yes, a scab can be a term that just means someone who crosses the picket line. However, it's a very offensive term when the community's full of hypocrites doing the exact same fucking thing.
Intentional. Like, it's not just coincidence that scab is like, oh, a scab from like a wound or whatever. And they also use the word scab.
It's just insanity.
In this context too, regarding this union stuff. No, it's very specific why they picked that word. Back in the 18th and 19th century, the word scab also apparently evolving from the word scoundrel. And so if Karina was honest, in my opinion, what Karina should do here is explain, you know, what scab really means, and that it is indeed an insult. But of course, Karina isn't going to mention that.
Well, yeah,
right?
because that would make her look bad, so why would she?
No, instead, they're happy to try and mislead people into, oh, no, we would never bully anyone, harass Jacob Takanashi, or harass anyone, bully anyone. No, of course not. And so part of the reason I wanted to talk about that was because it was also giving me flashbacks to when Karina was basically bullying this person, this YouTuber, Darkos88, because you probably are familiar with this by now, but quick TLDR, Darkos88, according to my recollection, made a YouTube short that was talking about how Karina was trying to get people on TikTok to email Hoyoverse demanding that Hoyoverse sign their agreement, the union agreement, or however they're phrasing it for their strike or whatever they want to call it. And so people in the responses to that YouTube short were saying like, no, don't do this. The agreement's probably bad for X, Y, and Z, you know, going and listing reasons why they disagree with what Karina was demanding. But essentially they were saying like, no, don't listen to Karina, and definitely don't email Hoyoverse demanding that they sign this agreement. And so Darkos88 then made a video, a follow-up
Side note, this Iron Fist gameplay looks like the most mindless shit I've ever seen.
video saying that he was basically sorry for blindly just going along with whatever Karina had said, and that he should have looked into the situation more, and he sees the critiques that people have towards the union agreement, or once again, however they're phrasing it now. And this ultimately led to
Jesus
Karina
Christ, bro, give me a jump scare warning.
making that crash out video that's now become like iconic, and also this whole rant on Twitter that you're only seeing a part of here, but basically being very toxic towards Darkos88 over this, and eventually getting Darkos88 to delete the video and even apologize. And it just reminded me of how she was treating that person over on
That's
Blue
crazy.
Sky too.
I don't know about this.
In closing, this all circles me back to Jacob Takanashi and how we saw VAs like Karina attempting to bully Jacob into submission. And in this case, submission probably wasn't just apologizing, but also giving up the role, because they were so upset that he replaced John Patnois, I think the name was, as he hadn't voiced the role for like 6 months, was refusing to work for like 6 months, a part of this collective work refusal thing. So Jacob Takanashi accepts the role, very grateful for the work, very thankful for the job, and all these other VAs team up on him and harass him. In this case, trying to get him to submit to their demands, which was probably not simply an apology, but also giving up the role.
Damn, even Valeria did that shit? Fuck, I actually thought her ass was cool. Damn, bro. I swear to God, there's so many voice actors for this game that are just pieces of shit. It's insane. Like, it is actually fucking wild, bro. I cannot believe how many pieces of shit there are. Who's that? Oh, let me Google that. Valeria Rodriguez. Valeria Rodriguez, voice actor. I just know who they are. I don't know who they voice, actually. So who do they voice? Let's find out. They voice in Honkai Star Rail. I don't know. You guys can figure it out. Oh, the Sucrose VA? Yeah, I guess they're Sucrose, man. Yeah, I guess they're Sucrose. The part of the union, they will get kicked out if they don't comply. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just kind of fucking messy, bro. And like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm a firm believer that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. But once again, that's just my fucking opinion. And I'm sure these voice actors probably want a couple more bucks whenever they voice a character, but I'll be real, bro. I'd rather the game just be fucking complete for millions of people, to be completely honest. Yeah. You know? That's just me, though.
Role.
How about Sayu opinion nowadays? I think he's fine. Yeah, I'm going to be real, bro. Like, I think Sayu's fine. I know there's a lot of VAs that I used to be, like, very good friends with, but now I know that it's just, like, bad for their career. So I'm okay with not talking anymore. It's completely fine. I will say, there have been multiple VAs reaching out to me in private lately, which has been very nice to see. And it's been nice understanding how things go on behind the scenes. And yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool. But, you know, some of them, I mean, obviously you guys know, there's a couple of voice actors in the community who say if they interact with me, they're going to be blacklisted. So I'm not going to try to cut off any potential opportunities they have just by being public associates with me. I'm just not going to ask them to do that because that's just a horrible thing to do. But that's just my opinion.
And as we all know, that ended up backfiring tremendously on these VAs, but we can still see how some of them are on Blue Sky. For example, in this video, Karina and Noah, as we went over.
Yeah, you want to know why they're on Blue Sky, guys? Because they're scared. Yep. Because they're scared of Twitter. Yep, and we all know it.
Are still trying to insult people who dare criticize the union, therefore then labeling them alt-right and trying to get them to apologize, etc.
Yep, everybody who disagrees with the voice acting strike must be a Nazi.
Etc. And it's really impressive, actually. It's astonishing how stubborn these VAs are.
Oh, yeah.
Receiving so much reasonable criticism from people, pointing out issues with how they treat others and issues with their rhetoric, and what do? Oh, they double down. That's what they do. Yeah, this ain't character growth. This is like negative character growth from these people. That's where I'll leave this one. As always, thank you so much for tuning in.
I think I'm going in on Corinna sufficiently, but I feel like I should go on the other VAs too. I think what they did to that VA was so shitty. Like, so fucking shitty. And it also blows because all the VAs who don't suck are now getting negative PR due to them. And it's all from greed, guys. It really is all from greed. It's pathetic. They should be ashamed. And hopefully we see some good ending. But yeah, I'll be real. Everybody who talks shit about that VA getting a job, I hope they get replaced. Yep, I do. Hey, man. Hey, if the game goes full AI, I don't even care. I'd rather not have to worry about if the VAs and I'm listening to are pieces of shit or not. It's just kind of pathetic, bro. It really is fucking pathetic. What do y'all think?